amounted to 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
Welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. My name is Bellis Quetta. Thanks for joining us. Now the news making the rounds. On the local scene, 8-year-old healed of partial deafness in Aochi. Imo government judgment, Supreme Court heavily compromised, has lost credibility, alleges PDP. And from the foreign scene, Brexit relationship, EU reveals clues ahead of talks with the UK. On business news, implementations of 7.5% VAT begins February 1st, says the minister. And on sports, Adeko Roye wins gold in Rome, and Joshua Pulev bout set for May in Turkey. The details of that news come after the break. Welcome back. 8-year-old healed of partial deafness in Aochi. On Sunday, 12th January 2020 was indeed a remarkable day for an 8-year-old boy with hearing aids who came with his mother from Australia. This child was said to have seen Apostle Johnson Suleiman on YouTube administering words of healing to a young boy who was deaf. He outrightly told his mother to bring him to Omega Fire Ministries International, Aochi, Edo State, Nigeria. However, he was convinced that when he gets to Aochi, he also will be touched by God. His expectations were not truncated, as there was a divine intervention by the man of God after the prophetic. While praying for international delegates, his mother told all that had happened to the man of God, who then prayed for him and said he doesn't need the hearing aids anymore. To confirm what God has done, the man of God stated that he felt the power of God in his fingers. He was sure the young boy was healed and should be examined. And now, miraculously, the child was made whole, and that was the end of the child using hearing aids. His mother was broken in awe of God. This can only be God. Still from the local news, Imo government judgment, Supreme Court heavily compromised, has lost credibility, alleges the PDP. The People's Democratic Party on Thursday alleged that the Supreme Court under Justice Tanko Muhammad as Chief Justice of Nigeria has been heavily compromised. The PDP National Chairman Uche Secondus, during a media briefing in Abuja, added that the Apex Court has lost credibility. According to Secondus, the Supreme Court under Tanko's leadership has been annexed to execute the ignoble agenda of All Progressive Congress federal government against the Nigerian people. The Apex Court removed Ihedioha, who has been Imo State governor since last year in May, and replaced him with Hope Uzodinma, who contested the election on the platform of the APC. At the press briefing on Thursday, Secondus described the Supreme Court's verdict as a miscarriage of justice. And also from the local scene, again, Buhari flies to UK, begins a 6-day trip today. The President Muhammadu Buhari will embark on a 6-day trip to London on Friday, that's today, according to the State House. He is to participate in the inaugural UK-Africa Investment Summit, which is in London. The summit opens on Monday, January 20th, but Buhari will jet out of Abuja today. Buhari is expected back in Nigeria on Thursday next week. It will be the first foreign trip this new year. The presidency, in a statement by Buhari's special advisor on media and publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, explained that British Prime Minister Boris Johnson will play host at the summit. And lastly, from the local scene, we have more news on gospeltainment, a new release by popular gospel artist Frank Edwards titled The Believer's Anthem. Let's watch.
Nigeria A-list contemporary gospel music minister Frank Edwards has begun the year 2020 with a palatable song that takes everyone to the floor of dance. Believer's Anthem, which is the title of his newest single, is a song for all with no denomination excluded.
As I dey go, as I dey come, now the name of Jesus dey for my mouth. As I dey sleep, as I dey do my work, now the name of Jesus dey for my mind.
Frank, who is known for his ability to creatively make hits out of all songs, recently granted an interview to Punch News Nigeria, where he was quoted as saying that if you want to make money, don't do gospel music. Though in furtherance, he explained that making money shouldn't be the first interest of a gospel musician in prospect who wants to make impact. He stated that it is rather better to have the focus on Jesus, who will in turn do for you all that he promised you. Meanwhile, Frank Edwards, who is an introvert and only socializes on social media, according to him, revealed in 2018 in an interview with Celebration TV music show that he had left the market of searching. But he seems to have taken back his words when he also revealed in the same interview with Punch News that he would try to loosen up a bit in order to get himself a wife this year 2020. Nonetheless, he likes gospel acts to know that gospel music is a ministry and not an industry. Hence, the very reason the focus has to remain on Jesus.
Oh, what a great release there from Frank Edwards. And coming up next is news from the foreign scene. Brexit relationship, EU reveals clues ahead of talks with the UK. The details of that news comes after the break.
Years comes and goes, flowers and plants wither and dies, but God's faithfulness remaineth. This is how far God has taken us. Come enjoy this surge of excitement as we celebrate Ebenezer 2020, February.
Brexit relationship, EU reveals clues ahead of talks with the UK. The EU Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, has said negotiating all aspects of the UK's future relationship with the EU by the end of 2020 will be basically impossible. They said an army march on its stomach. The European Union does it with slides. The EU negotiating team is gearing up for talks with the UK about the post-Brexit relationship by holding a series of seminars for diplomats from the 27 member states. The presentations are being published online, served with jargon and seriously lacking in inspirational clip art. They provide important clues about how this may play out. And also from the foreign scene, China's economic growth hits 3 decades low. China's economy grew last year at the slowest pace in almost 3 decades. Official figures show that the world's second largest economy expanded by 6.1% in 2019 for the year before, the worst figure in 29 years. The country has faced a weak domestic demand and the impact of the bitter trade war with the U.S. The government has been rolling out measures over the past 2 years in an attempt to boost growth. It comes after almost 2 years of trade tension with the United States. Although hopes of a better relationship with America has seen improvements in manufacturing and business confidence data. Coming up next is news from the world of business. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Get ready for the super dynamic move of God as the Restoration Apostle storms Warri, Delta State, Nigeria with the mandate to enforce God's counsel concerning your life.
When God's presence rests on you, curses are reversed.
A meeting that will translate your expectation to manifestation with a theme from backseat to front seat. Host Apostle Michael Apple, 24th January 2020, 10 a.m. GMT +1, live at the Palace of God's Bible Church, opposite Lingo Filling Station, off Uti Street, Efuru, Warri, Delta State, Nigeria. For inquiry, call +234 903 169 7532. The experience shall be phenomenal.
Welcome back. Implementation of 7.5% VAT begins on February 1st, says the minister. The federal government will, from February 1st, begin the implementation of 7.5% value-added tax espoused by the finance law. The law, according to the government, will take effect after all the necessary administrative procedures must have been completed, especially the Gazette of Acts by the Federal Ministry of Justice. The Minister of Finance, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, confirmed the development on Thursday in Abuja at the inauguration of the board of the Federal Inland Revenue Service. She said the February 1st commencement date has put to rest every speculation regarding the takeoff date of the new VAT regime. The minister said once a bill is signed into law, it takes effect immediately, but noted that there were certain administrative procedures and formalities to be finalized before commencement. And also from the world of business, consumer goods producers groan under border closure. Many companies operating in the fast-moving consumer goods sector are currently not finding the prolonged closure of the country's border funny. Their worry stems from the reported high cost currently being incurred in exporting their goods and importing some condiments used in the manufacturing of their goods from the neighboring African countries through the seaports. Investigations by our correspondent reveal that before the closure of the borders in August 2019, these companies distributed their goods by road through trucks and bought in the condiments through same process. But all that changed with the closure, as the operators in that sector had to now do all this through the seaports. Some of the operators who spoke on condition of anonymity for fear of reprisal from the government said they spent money to either export their finished goods or import their condiments, and it took a longer time for the items to arrive at their destinations. And now on sports news, Adekoroye wins gold in Rome. The details of that news comes after the break.
Years comes and goes, flowers and plants wither and dies, but God's faithfulness remaineth. This is how far God has taken us. Come enjoy this surge of excitement as we celebrate Ebenezer 2020, February.
You're welcome back. Now on sports news, Nigerian wrestler Adunayo Adukoroye defeated India's Anshu 10 points to 0 via superiority to claim gold in the women's 57 kg at the 2020 Matteo Pellicone Ranking Series tournament in Rome. To reach the finals of the competition, Adekoroye defeated America's Alison Reagan 10 points to 3. The tournament serves as a preparatory program to put the wrestlers in good shape ahead of all important 2020 African Championships in Algeria from February 4th to 9th, as well as the African Oceania Olympic qualifier in El Jadida, Morocco, which will take place in March. Adekoroye is the only Nigerian wrestler to have secured a bet at the Tokyo Games with Blessing Oborodudu missing out by Rekis at the 2019 World Championship in Nur Sultan, Kazakhstan. She will be hoping to do better than the round of 16 place finish she had at the 2016 Olympics in Brazil, where she lost 8 points to 1 to Finland's Petra Oli in the women's 58 kg event. And also from sports news, Joshua Pulev bout set for May in Turkey. The International Boxing Federation heavyweight clash between Anthony Joshua and Bulgarian boxer Kubrat Pulev will hold in Istanbul, Turkey in May. The date and venue of the fight were confirmed on Pulev's official Facebook page. Pulev, 38 years of age, posted a link to an article that appeared to claim that the much anticipated fight will take place at the Vodafone Arena, home of Turkish football club Beşiktaş. The pair are due to fight this year, with Pulev the mandatory challenger for Joshua's IBF heavyweight title. But according to Sun Sports, while talks are ongoing, any clash between the two boxers will only take place in either the United Kingdom, the United States, or Saudi Arabia. And lastly, from the world of sports, Australian Open golf to face Venus again. American teenager Coco Gauff will again face Venus Williams in the first round of a Grand Slam after the pair were drawn together at the Australian Open. Gauff, 15 years of age, announced her arrival on the biggest stage by beating 39-year-old Williams, a 7-time Grand Slam singles winner at Wimbledon in July. Britain's Johanna Konta, seeded 12th, will play Tunisia's Ons Jabouer. In the men's draw, British 30th seed Dan Evans meets American's Mackenzie McDonald in Melbourne. Evans, 29 years of age, is playing in his first slam as Britain's leading male and could face Serbia's defending champion Novak Djokovic in the third round. Djokovic, who is aiming for record extending 8th title, does not have the easiest opener after being drawn against German's world number 37 January Lennart Struff. The first Grand Slam of the year begins on Monday with the top half of the women's draw and the bottom half of the men's draw in action. And that's what we have for you today on Celebration Television News Desk. But before we go, let's have a clue of the weekend fixtures. And that's what we have for you today on Celebration Television News Desk. But before we go, let's have a recap of the news making the rounds. On the local scene, 8-year-old healed of partial deafness in Aochi. Imo government judgment, Supreme Court heavily compromised, has lost credibility, alleges the PDP. From the foreign scene, Brexit relationship, EU reveals clues ahead of talks with the UK. On business news, implementation of 7.5% VAT begins on February 1st, says the minister. And on sports, Adekoroye wins gold in Rome, and Joshua Pulev bout set for May in Turkey. You can also follow us on all our social media platforms to have details of our news, to have details of other programs on Celebration Television. On Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Instagram, we are My Celebration TV. On Twitter, we are at My Celebration TV. And on YouTube, it's www.youtube.com/Celebration TV. My name is Belis Quetta. You have a great weekend. Thank you.
To 15.7 trillion naira